দুর্গাপুজো সব কেমন কাটালে? বিশাল বৃষ্টি পড়ছিল চারদিকে। We start today capacitance and capacitors of class 12 standard NEET JEE covering. My channel Bidyut flow is going day by day rapidly. You may subscribe my channel if you mind it. যদি তোমরা পছন্দ করো, যদি তোমাদের আমার পড়া ভালো লাগে, তাহলে তোমরা আমার চ্যানেলটা সাবস্ক্রাইব করবে। আমার এখানে টিউশন পড়তেও আসতে পারো। ওকে, সো let us do our duty with taking problem on capacitance and capacitors. This is the parallel plate capacitor. Here is the three dielectric metal placed, making three capacitors. One is of C1, another one is of C2, another one is of C3. And this C1 and C2 are in series connection, where C3 is in parallel connection. So what is the value of C1? Let us first do our duty. What is the value of C1? We know the general formula for C as epsilon 0 A upon D by K. Epsilon 0 A upon D by K. So C1 equals to epsilon 0 A by 2, this divided by D by 2 K1 equals to epsilon 0 A by 2 twice K1 by D equals to epsilon 0 A K1 by D. What is the value of C2? Same as this upon D by 2K2 equals to epsilon 0 A K2 by D, and C3 as epsilon 0 A by 2 upon D by K3. Equals to epsilon 0 A upon twice 2 K3 by D. So this is C1, this is C2, this is C3, and equivalent will be of this type. C1, C2, C3. This is the point where EF, this is the 2 point which are connected by the cell or by the OR. You can say this is a positive and this is as a negative one, as earth one. So in this type. So this is the simplified equivalent problem. What is the resultant of the capacitors? What is the equivalent capacitance? This one will be so for the here we can get equivalent capacitance as equals to C1 C2 upon C1 plus C2. Exchange A by D, exchange A by D, cutting out 1 present, exchange A by D goes into K1, K2 plus epsilon 0 A K3 by 2D. Epsilon 0 A by D, denominator, epsilon 0 A by D, 1, cutting out. Presents epsilon 0 A by D, K1, K2, this divided by K1 plus K2, plus this. From this take again common as epsilon 0 A by D, we get K1, K2 this divided by K1 plus K2 plus K3 by 2. So the answer is D. n সংখ্যক প্যারালাল প্লেট যদি থাকে, কোন কম্বিনেশনে n সংখ্যক প্যারালাল প্লেট যদি থাকে, if a combination of capacitance is represented by n parallel plates, then their equivalent capacitance will be C equals to n minus 1 epsilon 0 A K upon D, where A is the area of the parallel plate, each and every, and K is the area of each plate, which is equal to each other, and K is the dielectric, K is the matter present inside the plates which are of same type and of value of dielectric constant value K. Then the equivalent capacitance will be of n minus 1 K times epsilon 0 A upon D, where D is the distance between any two, D is the distance between two consecutive parallel plates. So if A and D are constants, If A and D are constants, because K is already constant and N is and epsilon 0 is already constant, then we can write as C versus N minus 1. So the answer will be B. এই যে সমস্ত প্রশ্নগুলো করানো হচ্ছে এগুলো ভালো লাগছে তো? না ভালো লাগলে you can put me questions. I shall try my best to give the answers. An infinite circuit. This is an infinite circuit because dot 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 formed by the repetition. This one is repeated up to infinite, up to infinity. We have to find the equivalent capacitance of between A and B. So this can be done as C and C dash, because if this part is taken out, this one up to infinity, if the capacitance of this part is C dash, then also this part will be C dash. If you take some water from C, the level, sea level will not be affected. From this idea, we can write as, because this one is in series connection and this one is in parallel connection. So equivalent again can be given as This equivalent capacitance is nothing but C dash as per our idea. So you can write which is a quadratic equation from which of C dash, from which you can get C dash equals to because C dash cannot be negative quantity, the value of C dash cannot be negative quantity, so minus sign to be out, and after all we can get C dash equal to minus C plus root over 5C square upon 2. So in this way we will get 236. So in this way this will go on, so almost this this square root will go on in this way. So the answer will be this, and this is also less than C. This is also less than, so answer B and C. three plates A, B and C. Three parallel plates A, B and C are arranged in this way. There is a 12-volt cell applied, positive, whose positive end is connected to A, also connected to C, and a negative end is connected to B. So we can write that we can write this diagram to equivalent to this diagram. Again I say the positive end is connected to A and C. That is our positive end is connected to A and C, and negative end is connected to B and B. So this is the parallel connection of the two capacitors. So the equivalent of these two will be as here is a kind of 50 centimeters A. So C, this is in the CGS unit. So C equals to epsilon 0 A by D equals to 8.854 into 10 to the power minus 12 into 50 centimeter square into 50 into D equals to E millimeter. So this is C, and here the equivalent capacitance of these two will be twice C, because this is equivalent twice, because these are in parallel connection. So the stored energy for one capacitance equals to half CV square, and for both capacitance energy is equals to twice into half CV square equals to CV square equals to 8.854 into 10 to the power minus 12, this divided by 3 into CV square equals to Okay, June. So the answer will be of this. If you take this value as 8.85 into 10 to the minus 12, then you get this result 2.12 into 10 to the minus 9. This is our final problem to be solved today. The next day we finish the residual problems. After that we shall go to the next chapter which is known as current electricity. This problem is of CGS system. ESU centimeter square is super centimeter square in this way. No SI system. So C capacitance C equals to K alpha upon 4 pi d. In SI system this is K alpha upon d. In CGS system this is K alpha upon 4 pi d. 4 pi multiplication and 4 pi multiplication is the factor here from CGS to SI system, which is equals to 2 into Now charge Q equals to CV equals to C 15 by 0.628 into because we know 1 volt equals to 1 by 300 AC. So this is so surface density of charge equals to we have taken here pi as 3.1514 because it should be taken as not 3.14, 3.14 against something. In this way. So the ultimate result will be this. So this will be the result answer B. If you take this value as this, you get the answer as this because here denominator is increased, so C will decrease, and when C will decrease, then Q will decrease. When Q will decrease, then sigma will also decrease, but here it is increases. So nothing to be lost here. So answer B is the answer. So this is all about today's class. Thank you. Not even mentioning the Bidyut flow is running faster and faster. Try to subscribe this channel as far as possible. Thank you.